Hello and welcome to my first podcast. My name is Max Röck and today you're listening to Resist Average, You Are Worth More. If you're tuning in for the first time, I bring you that not only in an audible way, because there's different ways how we consume content. We can either listen to it in form of a podcast, or we watch content in form of a video, a movie, or sometimes we even want to do it. So therefore, I have prepared alongside to that audio a presentation which you can watch on YouTube. If you want to do so, you can go through that link, which is https://mr90.de/capital YTE14. This podcast is about my journey from mediocrity to mastery. It is also about the learnings I will have along the way through that journey, as well as tips, tricks, and exercises which help me to get ahead faster in that journey. This will also be helping you as your shortcut to your own mastery, regardless of where it may be. So let's jump right into today's story. Is about, well, let's say I used to be an occasional runner. I used to run maybe, let's say, once or twice a month, not really often, until I started a new job and I connected with a colleague from the IT department, and he was a very passionate runner. It wasn't unusual that he was running twice a day. I remember that his average was, 15 or 20 kilometers a day, which was insane to me at the time. But then it ended up for me to, I started to do daily lunch runs with him. We usually went out for 5 to 10k runs during our lunch break. So instead of sitting there and having a big meal during our lunch break, we went out and went for a run. In the beginning it was in the office outside of Dublin, 40 kilometers outside of Dublin, in a small village called Newbridge, where there was a cubicle outside, a container where there was showers inside, so it wasn't really that comfortable, especially during the winter time. But then when we moved closer to Dublin, it was much easier. There was a gym, proper shower facilities, so we went out running, I would say probably 4 out of 5 days a week, and I become much more than a runner. And after doing that for several months, I decided that I want to go further. And I went for my first 10 miles run, so 16 kilometers. And that was great. It was really good, and I enjoyed it a lot. And I even tried to do that a second time, which actually it kept, at the time I was still trying, so I wasn't prepared well enough, and I thought it was the same run than last time, but they moved the starting position in the Phoenix Park in Dublin, and I actually couldn't find the start position until the right time, and I tried to chase the already left crowd and couldn't find the path of the course actually, and ended up stopping because I couldn't find where I needed to go. Therefore, it's always better to be prepared and don't assume it is the same than the previous year or the previous time you have done it. It can always change. And after I've done that, I even decided to go even further. So my next goal obviously was, a half marathon, to do my first half marathon. And I set myself a really passionate time, which was an hour and 50 minutes for half marathon, which I did not achieve. If you followed any of my Pinterest, Instagram posts, you have probably read that my first marathon was actually on the 7th of May, and I came home from a business trip on the 6th of May, so from the US, and I was well prepared, but probably due to the jet lag and the travels I went through during that 2 weeks prior to the run, I most likely couldn't achieve it, and probably had needed a little bit more preparation in order to achieve that goal, which I was really passionate for my first marathon, which I know now. I didn't know at the time. And I think if we don't record the progress to the goals you want to go, there's no way that we can achieve it. So my strong belief is what we can't measure, we can't improve. And therefore, my running is one of the things I really record very, very well. And there's a small snapshot out of the Strava website where I record my my running progress. And when you see the all-time personal records, they're actually from official runs, so timed runs where I don't not only record them through a GPS watch, but they're also recorded via a chip. So 10-mile run, which I told you earlier, was in Dublin, which I run within an hour 17, and the half marathon in Germany then on the 7th of May, where I wanted to go below an hour and 50 minutes, I achieved within 2 hour 1. And underneath you can see the estimated best effort, so they are based on GPS measurings, and that's actually the times I run against all the time. So the time I want to improve against, and no other times. I don't want to break any world records in running, but I want to break my own records, and that's where I walk towards and nothing else. So let's play a small game here. Let's imagine I said on the 7th of May in 2017 I run the first and my so far only half marathon in 2 hours 1 minute and 7 seconds for a little bit more than 21 kilometers, so 16 miles, 13 miles actually I think. And imagine from those 2 years now, if every day I would only improve a second, my running time would only improve a second from 7th of May 2017 until, let's imagine the next run would be on 7th of May, exactly 2 years later, this year, 2019. So if we would do that, imagine that's the next run, and I would have improved 1 second, only 1 second every single day from there on. So put a little bit of effort in, stretch a little bit more, run a little bit more, but only improve a second. I think we can all imagine a second is not much to improve every day. It's a little tiny bit every day, 1 second. If we would do that for those 2 years, my time this year on the 7th of May would be 1 hour and 49 minutes, exactly 1 minute below my target goal. So I have not signed up for a run on the 7th of May this year. I'm gonna look for a run sometime in the second half of this year, and that will be my aim time, to go below 1 hour 50 minutes, and I'm trying to find a run around August, maybe a little bit later. Probably October will be one in Dublin. I see if that's feasible, and do another half marathon and break the goal time I set myself almost 2 years ago. So what's the learnings from that? If there's anything in your life you want to improve, regardless of what it is, if it's exercise more, what does more mean? Does more mean every day? Do you know how often do you exercise? How many minutes do you exercise a month? Do you track that somehow? I personally use an Apple Watch. It tracks my activity minutes. But any other smartwatch, if you have an iPhone, it connects to your health app. It will show you your average calories burned. I might go into, if you're interested, reach out to me. I might go into more details on those things in a further episode. But regardless of which area it is, if it's fitness, if it's your weight, if it's your nutrition, getting more done during the week, if you're not able to measure it, how are you going to be able to know if you have improved it? It's only a feeling, but the feeling can change. So if you want to improve anything, make sure you're able to measure your progress, that you actually are improving in that certain area you want to improve. And really important, set yourself achievable goals. I set myself an hour and 50 minutes, which I did not achieve by 11 minutes. A run which is 13 miles long, 21 kilometers long, and I missed it by 11 minutes. I think it was still really achievable, because if you think about it, 21 kilometers, 11 minutes missed. Every kilometer I only would need to run 30 seconds faster, which is not that much, and I could have achieved it. And if I pushed myself hard, I would have probably done it already. And if you set your achievable goals, then go for them, achieve them. Set yourself small increments. And if you achieve them, you become more comfortable. You become more confident, and you're gonna chase them, and you're going to achieve them, regardless what they are. If you set them yourself, you're going to be able to achieve them yourself. So I'm your host, Max Röck. Thank you for listening, and until next time.